Hello, darlings. You've all heard of Marilyn Monroe. Some of you know Bridget Bardot. Well, now it's time for the Cognac Show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One-of-a-kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in pearls. I love to mingle, though my husband reminds me I'm not single. I meet and greet both the famous and the elite. I ride in limousines, drinking the finest champagne, wearing furs, dazzling diamond jewelry. A girl can't complain. I live the upscale life, dining in the finest restaurants, eating the best caviar for free. And no matter how much I enjoy myself.
Hello, darlings. Welcome back to Cognac's Corner. I'm Cognac Wellerlane, and we're here at Asiana Restaurant. And we're here on 34th Street in this fabulous Asian restaurant, and I'm here with Playwright, Liza Lentini. Welcome to Cognac's Corner. Welcome to Asiana Restaurant.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, I've heard so much about you. I want to read a little something here about you before we get started. Some interesting notes that I took on you and what you're all about. And I think my audience will find this quite interesting. Liza Lentini. Plays have been produced at the Women's Project Chicago Dramatists and the Cherry Lane all over the United States and in London. Show Business Weekly called Drowning in Euphoria, which received an extended run at the McGinn Cazal Theater, poignant and haunting, almost musical. Her play, Roxy Font, an adult fable about a notorious three-footed prostitute, won Best Ensemble in last year's NYC New York City Fringe Festival and was named one of the top 5 Fringe shows by New York Magazine. She is the recipient of numerous awards and recognitions, as has placed in the Printers Review Prize for Drama, Trust Playwrights Festival, Playwrights First, and the Lillian Hellman Prize for Drama. Now tell my audience, darling, what inspired you to become a playwright?
It's an interesting question. I actually am not sure. I think that playwrights always have a special ear for dialogue. And ever since I was a little girl, I always wrote down things that people said, and I would sort of cut them up and make them into little books.
Dissect them.
Yeah, exactly. Ever since I was very, very little. And I wrote my first play when I was about 12.
12 years old. What was that all about?
The play itself?
Yeah, the play.
It was sort of chronicles of different people's lives, and when I think about it now, it was a very adult approach to writing a drama, because a 12-year-old doesn't know enough about lives and relationships, but I guess I was just interested, wanted to figure it out, so I did it on paper.
12 years old, that's amazing. Tell my audience, what is it you like? What kind of themes or storylines that you like to write about? Is it romance? Is it intrigue? Is it a thriller?
It's a good question, because every single one of my plays has a different theme to it, but almost always it's about a fallen hero, and that hero is almost always also a woman.
A heroine.
Yes. And it's usually somebody who goes against the grain of society, is a real underdog.
I love that.
Yeah, isn't that fun? I actually have a play in the Fringe Festival about Victoria Woodhull, who ran for president against Grant in 1872. It's a biographical drama. I don't I actually studied historical drama in my MFA program, but she's a real live person who was just completely scandalous. She was a prostitute. She, was advocating free love and abolition of the death penalty, and she's just really outrageous. But a lot of my characters, even if they're fictitious, they have a similar sort of credo on life.
Totally over the top.
Yeah. Over the top.
They tell me I'm over the top.
Yeah, I think you'd like a lot of my plays, actually.
I think I would like some of your plays.
Yeah. Very, there's an element, there's a fantastical element to them. I write what I call a lot of adults' fables, because I think adults need fairy tales too.
Absolutely, darling. We need them too. That's why I developed my bubble bath, because it's sort of like a fairy tale. It's like a fantasy. You take a bubble bath in my pink champagne bubble bath, and it just takes you away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A little fantasy in the day-to-day doesn't hurt anybody.
Tell my audience about this play now that it's on off-Broadway. Tell my audience where it is.
It's a PS 122. It's called The Euthanasiast. And it's a one-person show. In this case, it's a woman, but it was written for either a woman or a man. And it's really the story of somebody who decided that they were going to help people hasten their death in an underground, definitely illegal manner. Sort of a Dr. Kevorkian type.
Interesting. Now, what made you come up with that theme?
Well, I didn't really come up with the theme as much as I came up with the story first. And the reason that I did was because a friend of mine had told me that their uncle was a euthanasiast. And I didn't even know that euthanagists existed. And this was many, many years ago. And the story just stuck with me. I didn't know anything about this man, and I thought, wow, what would make someone want to do that? And so I explore it in the play. I'm not an advocate either way. It's really a story about a person.
But you want people to be aware of it, and this is why you wrote about it.
I wrote about it because I think that everyone, sadly, has watched someone they love die. And it's a very personal topic for people. I don't ask them to think about, to choose a side. Clearly the euthanasiast in the play does, has a very strong stance on what they're doing.
But you don't believe that, you don't necessarily believe in euthanasia.
No, euthanasia is illegal, and I understand why some people do.
Yeah.
I think it's probably really hard for them to, and it happens all the time. You know, doctors will prescribe medication, or whether it's morphine or whatever it is, just to help people. So it's a very sensitive topic. It's not, ironically, I just told you about all my sort of over-the-top and fantastical characters, but this is not quite that. This is definitely a drama.
When will it be showing?
It opened last Thursday.
Oh, last Thursday. And how long will it be running?
It runs until June 15th.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show and to talk about your play and what you're doing. And I'm sure there's going to be wonderful, many more projects on the way.
I hope so.
I know so. Are you going to give me a kiss goodbye, darling?
Of course.
Mwah. Keep watching. More celebrity interviews coming up. Let's toast. Big champagne kisses, darlings. That's good, right?
Very good.
Keep watching. More celebrity interviews coming up, darlings. Pink champagne kisses.
Summer being a bridge you far down. Well, now it's time for the cognac show. I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a bubbly blonde, fabulously dressed to impress. One of a kind girl. I was brought into this world wrapped up in